Hello and welcome back to our coffee and cake series. This is the third video in the series, and today we're going to talk about one of the most common reasons I see tall cakes collapse and what I do to make sure that that doesn't ever happen to me. Okay, so if you're new to making cakes, especially if you're going into the taller or the stacked cakes, you're really going to want to listen to what I have to say here. Okay, so grab your cuppa. I've just got a regular flat white today. It's pretty early in the morning over here in Sydney, and so I do like to start my day just with a regular flat white coffee. So grab your cuppa, whether it's your tea, your matcha, your latte, and let's dive into the land of cake fillings. Okay, so you want to make a beautiful, tall, stunning cake. You've got a wedding cake coming up, or maybe you're just starting your business and you're trying to decide what fillings do I need, what should I offer, what kind of cakes do I want to make. Okay, so after you've gone through all the regular processes, check for insurance, regular councils, food and safety, all those kind of regulations, work from there. Okay, but when it does come to stopping your cakes from collapsing, you want to avoid soft fillings. Okay, so soft fillings, what are they? Pretty much it's anything you're going to place between the layers of your cake that does not set firm. Okay, you want your layers to be nice and firm in between. So soft fillings could be anything like a fresh cream, a cream cheese frosting filling, lemon curd, any of your other fruit raspberry fillings. It could even be like a melted Biscoff or a Nutella filling. Okay, it's anything that's at room temperature especially is not going to set up firm. Okay, you do want to be able to utilize your fridge and chill your cakes so that it will aid in setting firm, but you want to make sure that that filling is setting firm. Okay, so why do we want the firm setting filling? Biggest reason is that you don't want your cake layers to sink into one another. You don't want your cake layers to slide. I've seen the most beautifully decorated, stunning tall cakes be a mess at delivery because the cake layers have slid, okay, because they've used a soft filling. Now you can still use dowels inside your cakes, but with a soft filling, they're less likely to stay in place, okay, because you're just still allowing for some extra movement, especially if you're transporting on very hot and humid days, okay. Again, there's always more than one factor, okay, so maybe you haven't chilled your cake long enough. Maybe it is very hot, maybe it's an outdoor venue. There's lots of other factors to consider, but I don't like to take any risks. I've had my cake business for over 10 years, and I had one cake where my layers slid. It was a tall buttercream cake, and I did do a few things wrong. I didn't chill my cake properly beforehand. I didn't use the right internal support. But what I also didn't do right was I used buttercream to layer in between my cake layers. And since then, I stopped. I was just like, no, I'm sorry, but I do not offer buttercream between my layers. And my buttercream can be quite firm. It can be, I can make it, firmer if I need to. So if I'm piping my flowers and that, okay, it's not that it's an overly soft buttercream, but it's still not going to set firm enough for what I believe to be structurally stable. Okay, I want to make sure that you're calm, confident, and you know that your cake is going to be structurally stable every time, because that's how I felt, and I wanted to make sure that I continued to feel like that. Minimize your risks any way you can. Okay, so how I went about that is with my favorite filling of all time, and it's what I use on every single cake. So we'll get to that. Welcome, Ganache. Okay, Ganache, whether it's a dark chocolate ganache or a white chocolate ganache, I use it for everything. Okay, so whether I'm just sticking my baseboard underneath my cake to the actual cake board, I'll ganache it. I stick my cakes onto their boards with ganache. I use ganache in between my cake layers and also around the outside, okay, and most definitely underneath my fondant cakes. So ganache will set firm provided you're using the right chocolate and the right ratio to cream. Okay, so I do have an ultimate guide that I've put together which covers everything I've learnt about ganache in over 10 years, and I'll pop the link below for you. And I also have a free cheat sheet that you can download as well, so I'll put the link below that as well. And that goes through other things like your chilling and your transport and using internal structure and that for your stable cakes as well. So there's so much that goes into making a stable cake. But soft fillings for sure, if you're using, you know, your luscious and creamy mousses and things like that, they are going to increase the risk of your cake not being stable enough to stay perfectly upright and just as stunning from when it left your kitchen to when it arrives at the venue and they're enjoying it. Okay, so as well, you may find that you deliver your cake and it's perfect and it's been beautifully chilled and your car's been air conditioned and it arrives and it's in perfect condition. But then at the venue, they've let it sit out for a couple of hours and slowly your cake layers are starting to sink and sag and you're getting bulges out from where the layers are. It's not going to look pretty and they're not going to want to have that in their memories when they go through and look at their beautiful professional photos. Okay, so we want to protect your reputation, we want to protect your sanity, and we want to minimize the risk and the mess involved in using soft fillings. Okay, now I'm not saying there's no place for soft fillings. This is just what I have personally found to be my go-to. This is how I've structured my business and it just minimizes any mistakes. Now give me a light sponge cake with a fresh jam and cream and fresh strawberry filling. I'm your girl. Love it, love it. But again, I'm talking about a cake that only has one layer of filling, probably two at the very most, and I'm pretty much enjoying that at home. I'm not transporting it anywhere, I'm not delivering it anywhere. It's coming straight out of my fridge, sitting on my kitchen bench, you know, for half an hour to an hour, bring it back to room temperature, and then I'm enjoying it with my guests. And I will share it. I will share it. Definitely having a cuppa with my beautiful fresh fruit soft filling cake here, but it's not something that I would do for a client. Okay, so have a think about that, see what you would do. And again, if you want to just grab my free cheat sheet, I'll pop the link below, and there's also my ultimate ganache guide. Okay, so it covers everything from your types of chocolates to the full recipes for dark chocolate, white chocolate ganache, making drips, troubleshooting, ratios, anything you think of, it's inside the complete guide. Okay, so I'll pop the link below. And if you enjoy this episode, make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me today.